I wanted to find out who was better at being alone, men or women. I wanted to find out over time of being alone who can handle it better, a guy or a girl. How long does it take the mind to break down for a guy versus a girl? I wasn't able to find this. It's almost impossible to find this. I couldn't find it. Um, it's probably an illegal. You probably can't do that type of research to put a man and a woman in solitary confinement over a long period of time just for a test. But I found some other stuff. This is from a Good Men Project, which is made by men, so I know that it might be biased for men, but I think it's pretty accurate. Women are more relationship prone than men, while men are more prone to procreate, which pretty much sums up why men use women and women use men. Women really need men for companionship. They have to have companionship. Men really need women for skin-on-skin contact and sex. This disparity between men and women affect women's ability to concentrate, connect, and or feel good. Since men do not have the same physical and emotional drive, they do not experience the lack thereof a relationship in the same manner as women do. And yeah, I'm going to go into the sociology and the psychology first before I go into numbers. More and more men are seeking to be single because they want to escape the outdated belief system that places men in a 9 to 5 to pay for a house and a family while his wife stays at home raising the children. In fact, there are whole movements, and I know everyone hates calling it a movement, what's going on with men right now. A better term would be awakening. An awakening would be a better term. There are whole awakenings being formed that are centered around men choosing to be single for life. There's a growing view out there that women are nice to have around, but are essentially unnecessary. I think this is based on men's ever-growing refusal to conform to societal expectations. Yeah, so being unnecessary, describing women as being unnecessary, it's horrible. It's horrible and it's mean to and it's unfair to consider all women to be unnecessary. And I don't want to make the channel just a women-hating channel. I don't want to go down that route. And women are good at caretaking and nurturing and giving birth. But you can't blame men for thinking that women are unnecessary. Any job or task that I need to get done, or anyone needs to get done, I'm probably going to call a guy to do it. A guy is probably going to already have it mastered. I could easily just find some guy, or any link. I could find a link to something that let's say I need something done in my apartment. I could easily find a link and for the job to contact someone to get the job done, and it's going to be a guy. It's going to end up being some guy coming to do it. Guys are utilitarian. Guys are made for utility. They do everything else besides giving birth and taking care of kids. So you can't really blame a guy for thinking that he doesn't need a woman around. Women aren't really physically capable like men. They have small shoulders, wider hips for giving birth. I mean, they're made to give birth. Guys are made for utility. They have more muscle mass. Their skin is denser. Guys have higher collagen density in their skin. They're warmer. They have more. Their bones are denser. It's just guys are really made to be necessary. Guys have to be necessary. Okay, guys are made to be necessary. So you can't really blame guys for that thinking. Next, Psychology Today. This is a source of Psychology Today. Being alone. According to substantial research, women across all ages and lifestyles report higher levels of loneliness than men do, except perhaps surprisingly in one subset of people, single people. While married women inch out married men for the lonelier group, single men vastly outweigh single women as the lonelier bunch. Which actually they contradict themselves. The next two paragraphs. I guess men are not lonely during marriage. I don't really understand it. But knowing that we know about the social habits of men and women, we can speculate women tend to be more socially minded than men. Yeah, women have to have people around. Women need to have people around. Women are constantly on their phone, which I'll get into. Women just have to have someone to talk to all the time. Men don't do that. Men are happy sitting in a room playing a game. Women tend to be more socially minded than men, and may therefore maintain more close friendships outside of a primary romantic relationship, leading to less loneliness when without a spouse. Which it's saying that they're less lonely because they go out and make relationships, but I don't think that counts as being able to handle being alone. Of course, there's a flip side to the socially conscious tendency of women. Because they generally focus on relationships more than men do. When their relationships sour, they may fall more easily into loneliness. Who deals with loneliness better? While it's not evident which gender has better coping mechanisms when it comes to loneliness, it is clear that each gender has its distinctive style of coping. When feeling lonely, men tend to pursue groups of casual friends, groups of acquaintances, really, while women tend to throw themselves into more serious one-on-one relationships. Yeah, women have to have some type of companion that they could fall on. They really just have to. It's easier for them to get. It's much easier for them to get a companion to fall on, but they have to have one. Guys don't have to have one. Plenty of guys go on without a relationship, and they're fine. They need sex. They need touching. Women use their phones more than men. Oh shit, I didn't write the source. Women spend 2 more hours each day on their phone than men, according to a study from the Journal of Behavioral Addictions. According to the results, men and women not only differ on what applications they spend more time on, the study also revealed that overall women spend more time on their phones than men. That's not a surprise. The study surveyed 2,500 college students to observe whether cell phone habits differed between men and women. Research states that women use their phone for social benefits, whereas men use their phones as a source of entertainment. Yeah, men just you play games. Men men just don't need somebody. Men just fucking play games and just do their own thing. With texting being the most commonly used cell phone feature, women spend on average 105 minutes texting every day, while men spend on average 84 minutes texting. Similarly, women spend on average 57 minutes sending emails, while men spend on average 40 minutes sending. I spend 1 minute sending emails, and I work sending emails. That's my job. Like, part of my job is sending emails with the government. Like when you work in the government, and I still don't even fucking. I spend 1/40th of those minutes. Women spend on average 46 minutes each day on social media, while men spend closer to 30 minutes a day. Psychology Today, getting married. Young women are more likely to state that they would like to be married now. That is at the time of the interview. 31% of women and 20% of men in Ad Health Wave 3. Yeah, women are dying to get married. Women have to have someone. They have to get married they have to know that they have someone there. They have to have some type of safety net. Guys operate without a safety net. I think guys were evolutionarily designed and just created and advanced from not having a safety net. I think guys just improved on themselves because of not having a safety net. I think it's kind of inherent in guys. Sources History Matters, the U.S. survey course on the web. Yeah, this goes more into marriage. This is from 50 years ago, the 1950s. This is just a funny statistic that I like. If the ladies do not get to the altar at an early age, they are likely to get stranded. Nowadays, 70% of all American women marry before they are 24 years old. From then on, it's a downhill slide. By the time a woman is 30, there is about one chance in two she'll ever get married, and at 40, only one chance in five. By the time she is 50, the chances she will marry are just 1 in 16, and after 60, her chances drop to 1 in 62. That really shows you that the value of women is when they're young. Women really, as they get older, they get screwed. It's really nice to be a woman when you're young, but I think overall in life, as life goes on, men I think get more value. Women drop off. Source Aptopia. Guys outnumber. Yeah, this is dating. So this is just the seeking out. Who's seeking out people more? I wanted to know who's seeking out a companion more. Guys outnumber girls on dating sites by around 55 to 45%. It's even less than that on this site that I saw. It's maybe a little more even, except for in the 30 to 35 range. In the 30 to 35 range, and this was done on multiple dating apps, girls triple the amount of guys. It's like 16% girls and 5% guys. That's how many girls are looking for guys in 30 plus age group. They start to get desperate for a guy. Whereas I think guys after like 30, I think once you've settled in as a 32-year-old, once you've settled in to being alone, once you've just settled into your life, you kind of just and you get involved in your own things. Guys just start getting involved in their own little their own little crafts that they do. They don't really focus on a companion. And then I wanted to look out. I want to look at survivalists. I wanted to see even if let's say society broke down, who can handle life, who could survive life better. I wasn't able to do this because there's no continent with no with just people running around with trees and huts. But I wanted to look up every survivalist. How many survivalists are are males? Pretty much every survivalist that I looked up is a guy. If you go on the top 10 list, they're all guys. There's not really one woman who's a survivalist. They're not built to survive on their own. They weren't built for that. Women were built for community. Guys are meant to survive on their own. Yeah, guys have a tendency to be alone, mastering their craft, which is how they deal with being alone. Yeah, guys are just happy being in a basement on their own, just working on their craft. Technology and society has advanced because of guys being alone. Because of guys who are alone, sitting in their basement, just working on whatever they're working on, we've made technological advances because of that. We have to have lonely men. We have to have them. They advance society. Nowadays, I know it's more group work because of the travel. It's easy to travel now with planes, and it's easy to communicate. But every advancement prior to planes and stuff like that, it was just like some guy in a room. I forgot the scientist's name. This guy he's like the smartest, one of the smartest scientists. He would just sit in his room, in his basement, just finding out the universe's mysteries. He discovered how planets orbit in ellipses and not sphere in circles. I can't think of the guy's name right now. I'm brain fog, but it's guys that it's lonely guys, or guys that are alone, that are actually creating creating everything around creating everything. So guys actually have to be alone. Society needs guys to be alone. Some guys, we need loner guys to be working on shit. And I think the way girls deal with not being alone, girls don't really deal with loneliness and being alone. They have to cope. Women have to have someone there. Guys don't really. What I really learned from my own research is that the way girls deal with being alone is by not being alone, which I don't think counts. So I think guys are better at it.